Recently, our attention was directed towards a radio program that purported to give a reaccounting of the history, that's the word they used, of the USS Indianapolis. And sadly, much of what they said on this radio program was wrong. Now, on one hand, we don't blame the programs like this for getting the story wrong, because there's just so much mythology out there in the ether. We've talked about this before. And, to date, the Legacy organization has essentially just let these false narratives exist without rebuttal or correction. It's difficult for a content creator or program director to know fact from mythology. And so we recently decided that we would start putting out the correct information, and what we call battling the mythology. We would start pointing out the widespread myths that have existed about the Indianapolis program. Now, on one hand, I say it's easy to understand when folks get the story wrong because there's so much that's wrong out there on the internet. On the other hand, they've always had the ability to reach out to us and ask for help in making sure that their narrative is correct and making sure that they don't sound stupid. After all, we're happy to help for free. And we never get asked. I think that people almost prefer the false narrative to the factual retelling of the Indianapolis story. And so in the case of this radio show, we did reach out to them when we became aware of it and suggested that, we could help them correct the narrative. And their response was kind of surprising. The response was that they're an entertainment show, not a documentary. And it didn't appear. They were absolutely saying that it was okay to get the story wrong because the show was entertainment. It's not history, even though it's interesting that their website declared it to be a history lesson. So, the one thing I want to make sure we put out there is that when Jaws came out, it was entertainment written at a time when it was very difficult to do the research necessary to make sure that they were giving a factual retelling of the story. And they get many things wrong in the movie Jaws, including the date. They say it's in June when it was in July, but other things as well. And we're correcting those misstatements in other videos. But it's not okay to say, give us a pass on the facts because we're an entertainment show. No, that's not okay. The true history is easily discoverable now, at least. And it always was if they reached out to the right people. Each of the book authors get things wrong, and we are trying to correct those as we encounter them. But we don't want to hear, we in the USS Indianapolis Legacy Organization no longer want to hear the excuse that, well, the truth isn't important because we're an entertainment show. If you misrepresent the truth, you misrepresent the truth. If you want to honor the sailors and their service and sacrifice, tell the truth. If you want to exploit them for your own personal gain, say that's what you're doing. Don't pretend that it's okay to get their story wrong just because you're an entertainment show. Because we're going to continue to call you out. I think it's long past time when we should have been doing this, and we're going to do that going forward. I'm William Tody, retired Navy captain, former commanding officer of USS Indianapolis submarine, current chairman of the USS Indianapolis Legacy Organization, and I invite you to join us in battling the mythology.